The presenting sponsor of Upmarket is Aereo, the best place to grow and manage your real estate media business. Online at aereo.com. That's ARYEO.com. Coming to you from the Upmarket studio in the beautiful Ojai Valley of Southern California, this is Upmarket, a podcast about the business of real estate photography and media. My name is Reed Fish. I am the CEO and co-founder of Upmarket Media. Oh man, I'm so happy. Mark Corcoran back in the house. COO, another co-founder. Mark, hello, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Happy to be back for this one. This is going to be a good one.
Oh, I think so. And, you know, Chelsea is here, but I got to say, we've run out of microphones. So Chelsea does not have a microphone today. Chelsea, she just waved. She's here in-house producing. Thank God, because she set up the video. So, you can watch the video feed. We have our Upmarket Pod YouTube channel. So we're doing a little more video content these days. We're moving into the late 20th century here, doing a bit more video. Now, the reason there's no microphone for Chelsea is that we are very honored with a couple guests from the Pacific Northwest are here. Now, these two they've been on Upmarket Pod before. They were on the PMRE Action Item Spectacular. So, you know.
They were so popular, right?
Yeah. How many emails have I fielded? Get these two on the show for real. We have Anthony Taing, Kamika Bruland from CoLab Media in Olympia, Washington.
That's right.
Yeah, that is right. Right by Seattle. And they are in-house in Ojai. I mean, this is like so exciting. So, Anthony, Kamika, I want to start with, I think, the thing that is really the topic number one these days in the real estate media world. How's business?
For real estate, it is extremely slow.
Yeah, really slow?
Yeah, for real estate, it's really slow.
I agree.
Are you finding that is your region, just your business, just like everyone's slow, right?
No, my competitors or my colleagues are also slow.
Yeah.
So,
slower than normal for this time of year, right?
Yeah. It usually picks up around this time and we get back to work.
Right.
And
we're recording. Yeah, this is recording, mid-February? And and I think for us too, it feels like we've been super slow.
Yeah.
I mean, the slowest slow season ever, feels like.
We've had a few spurts where we're like, oh, here we go again. And then, it kind of slows down again.
Yeah, I'm getting calls of, maybe listings and they're keeping me in the loop, but some of them aren't going on market.
I love those calls. Oh, I maybe have a listing.
Yeah.
You're like, well, good for you.
Yeah, very helpful. Yeah.
Well, a lot of our listings or bookings have been actually from a lot of our friends who are brokers. Like, they're longtime clients, but we created relationships with them, and now we're good friends. And they're like, "Hey, they're the only ones with listings right now." It seems like so.
Well, you've cultivated good friends then.
Yes.
Yeah, you've really chosen your friends well.
Definitely.
Why? Because our friends pay us?
Yeah.
Best kind of friends, yeah.
Okay, so it's been slow, but I think one of the topics that I want to get into with you both is that Mark and I first met you at PFRE 2021, so a little over a year ago, and then we hung out again at PMRE this last year. And one of the things that we thought was most interesting outside of your amazing personalities about your business when we first met you is that you took kind of full service to a level that it was hard for us to even comprehend. And I think in the context of this slowing market and whatever, I like to hear what you have all done, I think could be of interest to people. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were doing the real estate media, but then you're also staging and cleaning. So and
pressure washing. I was doing
landscaping.
I was planting flowers.
Wow.
I was doing everything.
So your goal was to be literally a one-stop shop for realtors for everything.
One-stop shop. I painted a few houses. I did some flooring.
Painting, flooring.
Yeah.
So contracting.
Yeah, so virtual floors or maybe real floors, whatever you guys need.
Real estate media contractors.
But that's kind of a thing of the past. I mean, as far as the slow market, I'm staying busy with cannabis and construction documentation. right now.
Cannabis
Whoa.
documentation?
No, so there's the cannabis. I have a contract with a cannabis producer, and it's the product photography and the marketing there.
Okay, wow. All right.
And then for construction documentation, it's more of training videos and documenting as-built before they put the drywall up, so we can see the HVAC, we can see the electrical and everything.
Smart.
I want to get. I do want to get into that a bit too, but let's go back to the staging, because I for me that is something that like I've actually had a thought of at some point of like, well, you could just there is a play to be made for real estate media people to also do staging.
For sure.
Maybe not do house painting. I mean, that seems like I feel like you need licenses and all that kind of stuff, and so how did that work? And so you kind of said that you're not doing it so much anymore. Is that because of market conditions or other reasons?
We're still doing media and staging. What we're not doing is cleaning. I'm not pressure washing anymore. I'm not painting houses anymore. We're not over diversifying anymore.
Right.
We have media and we have staging.
Well, and Kamika, my impression is that you were kind of more heading up the staging side. Was that true?
Yes.
Okay. Or still are. Yeah.
I started out just kind of helping behind the scenes of media, and then staging was kind of born by the fact that we went to a ton of listings and they just didn't look that great.
Of course,
and
we've
I was
all
just
been
kind
there.
of there, to meet the brokers and network with him and, kind of support the media a little bit and maybe scanning the virtual tours, stuff like that.
Right.
And then I'd find myself like moving things around.
Sure.
And Anthony was like, come on, like I got to take the photos.
It's not in the budget. Let's
Right.
go.
You couldn't help yourself, right?
Right,
It's
I
like, this could
couldn't.
be better. Let's
Yeah.
make it better.
Yeah, and Anthony had already had experience with a previous coworker that would stage, light stages. So we
Okay,
started
sure.
out doing light staging.
So just
And
like
then-
accessories and some pillows and blankets and stuff.
And I think we kind of felt like a kid in a candy shop when we met you both at PFRE. We were just so excited. We're like, we're doing cleaning, staging, landscaping, media.
I remember being
all
like,
of it.
wow, these guys are
All
just
of
killing
it.
it. How are they managing that?
Mark said you're killing it. I said you're crazy.
Yeah. It's like either amazing or how are they
Mark was right. We were crazy.
I was right.
No, Reed was right.
Okay, Reed was right. We
Mark
were
thought you
crazy.
were really smart. I thought you were
I was
crazy.
looking to get
I
the
was just
second
like,
sale,
how
the
does that all
third sale,
work?
the fourth sale, the fifth, and the sixth
Right.
sale, and it was really too much.
Right.
Yeah.
But with the staging, how that started was my business partner. He always had a light stager, so it would
Okay.
be like 3 totes or 3 Costco bins.
Sure.
And then it would be bath curtains, flowers, your kitchen decor, just very, very light.
Right.
And,
Right.
and
But
that,
they can make a difference. I mean,
yeah. And that was done in 30 minutes to an hour and a half before the photographer came in, and then she destaged half an hour afterwards. So I saw it as, okay, she can do that, and we can add it on as a service.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So we added that on before Kamika came aboard.
So you had the business, and then Kamika came on at a certain point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, fell in love with him and fell in love with the business.
Like, I'm coming along with
With
this.
Anthony? Really? Oh, wow. Okay.
Basically, just joined in.
Yeah.
Nice. So
Right.
you're saying you would do a light stage, shoot it, and then destage it. It was just
She
for the
would
photo
destage
shoot.
it, but we would add that as a service and
So,
say
but it was just for the photo shoot.
it was just for the photo shoot. But we can do that in 2 hours.
Right.
2 hours,
Right.
2.5 hours. We will light stage it, we'll take photos and then destage it. And then the price point is going to be around $600-700 compared to
For photos
for
and
photos
staging.
and the stage.
And then what was your photo price?
That was included with it. It was
Right.
just it would be $300.
$300.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doubling it, basically by coming in with the light staging.
Yeah.
Yeah. And spending an extra hour, 2 hours on site?
And it was about 2 hours. Yeah. Yeah. But she's $15 an hour. So
Oh,
Okay.
right.
Not me.
Yeah,
Not me.
no.
I am
Kamika's like, I am 17.
no, I had an assistant who did all the deliverables and
Right.
kind of helped with the post production and scheduling, and so I was like, well, might as well just use her to
Right, sure.
stage.
So, and then
Interesting.
Kamika came in, and then you decided to do more full blown staging. If I'm understanding what you're doing, because I've
Yeah.
seen photos
Yeah.
you've done. It's like, okay, here's the bed we brought in and
Oh
the
my
couch.
gosh. We started out with a few bins and some furniture from my house.
Of course, every stager's pulling stuff out.
Honey, I'm taking the coffee table again.
We took the entire TV stand and TV out of my house, which I got to upgrade my TV.
Yeah, there you go.
Of that.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, we started out with a few bins, and we used my garage as a storage space, and then we ended up moving into a storage unit once we started accumulating a lot of furniture.
Inventory. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we were just talking about last night, our first stage ever, it was so bad.
Oh, you showed me the photos.
It was so bad.
It was fun. I appreciate you sharing that.
It had a dark maroon colored wall, and we put, I'm so embarrassed to say this. We put turquoise blue chairs and a rug in there. And
everything was from OfferUp or from friends or her house.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, well, that's how you do it. I mean, and as long as you can kind of make it cohesive, I think it worked. To me, so much of staging, unless it's obviously a vacant house, is just the decluttering. It's like getting rid of stuff. So if you're in an occupied house and having that where, you can come in as a stager and really just, it's more about getting rid of and then just having those little accent pieces or whatever, Yeah. But then when you're doing like full staging, would that still be just for photography, or then you would leave it in the house until it sells?
So fast forward now to 2 years? It's probably been 2 years now. Yeah. We now have about 7 or 8 sets of furniture that we can stage, for
so
one
like
time.
Your real staging company.
Yeah.
I call it 10 sets, but she puts a lot of stuff in houses.
I do.
I go bare bones.
That's a lot. So you need a full-time storage locker. You need a way to transport it. You need a truck.
We even got a box truck.
We have a 15 by 45 storage unit. We bought a box truck so we could stop renting U-Hauls.
Well, the storage unit isn't big enough. We still have some furniture in the box truck that we can't quite unload.
Storage on wheels.
Partially because of the market. Usually we're not as full, but
because sometimes I've noticed it, I'm good friends with the stager here, and I've seen her storage, and sometimes there's like 6 things in it, and sometimes you can't stuff one piece in there, and she likes it when there's 6 things in there.
Me too.
Everything is out, and
when it's out in the field, it's making you money, right?
That's what I like to see.
Yes. With the storage unit, and then after, now we have everything kind of unlocked, like as far as like pricing goes. Before it was kind of like we had a lot of room for discounts and we're just investing like everything we had into the business over the year.
Yeah. It's like we get a media contract, we're buying a couch.
Totally.
I think we're in a really good place moving forward, hoping the market, does take a happier turn.
Sure.
And we're ready to roll with full staging for vacant homes, and we do leave the furniture in there for a month.
And then you can charge a rental fee on that stuff for over a month, right? So you would stage it, charge the, whatever, just say for sake of argument, it's $1,000 to stage it. And then you get a month of the furniture rental. If it's not sold by then each additional month is $200 for the furniture or whatever. And then you just
50%.
Yeah.
And
50%. $500.
We're starting to see profit on the slower market of the extension.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I think you will once there's more listings out there. And if you're staging, if they are as a stager, you kind of want them to not sell immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a lot of turnaround, right? You got to get back in there in 30 days and move it.
And that's over the last few months, we were even agreeing that, we waived those fees because first of all, houses aren't selling. So they can't really afford it. And we also can't afford to move into a bigger space yet. So we have no more room. Like we've got 3 houses out right now and I have no room to put my
They've had
furniture.
like 3 or 4 months of additional
free.
You could keep it
Like
another month
please don't sell this house, please. That's terrible to say.
Right, you're at the point where you're going to get a giant tarp and put it in the backyard and just tarp it up, and so if it comes back,
something.
Or then you're selling it pennies on the dollar on Craigslist or whatever, which is not optimal.
And we don't want to do that because we hand selected items for certain houses,
right?
So
for certain houses,
for certain neighborhoods, for certain styles of houses,
sure.
And so we have a combination of. We have a big variety of different custom selected furniture that we don't want to sell for pennies on the dollar.
Well, no, and you want to make sure that you can get all those rental fees, and then it pays for because that's the thing. Once you and I've seen it here too with my friend. It's like okay, there's so much upfront cost, and in those first, as your staging business is growing, you're accumulating all that furniture, and it feels like every single time you get a gig, it just goes into buying furniture. Yeah. But then you reach that sweet spot where you have the inventory, and you're not needing to buy stuff, and then you're getting the full freight of that, and then 3 years later, you're still making money on that couch that you paid $500 for, and now you've gotten $2,000 in rental fees for it. So
that was our kind of catch up the end of last year. We were set to be in a position to win, and then the market slowed down. So now we're still set to be in the position to win. If we can get 5 stages a month, we're going to be highly profitable because we can rotate through those 7 or 10 sets of furniture and be profitable.
Yeah. And
so how do you find this like affected your media? Like obviously you're trying to sell media and staging together.
I think
you help
it was perfect because media sold staging and staging sold media. So some people who wouldn't use CoLab for media used staging, and then they ended up using CoLab for media.
Right.
And then for growing staging from scratch, it was, hey, is your house going to get staged? It's not.
I agree.
Let's stage it. Like it was a layup for staging.
Right.
I agree that it like elevated, both businesses a lot faster. Like if we were just a staging company coming in without the media, it would not have grown as fast as it did. And same with media. Media was already there. It was solid, but it elevated, and we were able to raise prices. We were able to, do more with our services and feel like we were getting what we deserved, because what we were giving. So.
Right. Yeah. And there's probably no one else in your market doing that. Like I don't know of anyone else doing that kind of combo of services.
I've not heard of anyone doing it ever anywhere. I'm sure someone is, but
I would recommend doing it. Just don't add the cleaning or pressure washing it unless you like planning flowers. Don't do that.
Right. Well, you have, I think what I've seen stagers do is they have their preferred list of subcontractors. Oh, the house does need to be power washed. Well, John over here does power washing, and we have a special deal with him. The thing that to me seems the smartest about it is it's really a way to, I think, build partnerships with your realtors and to work more collaboratively with them from an earlier time. And it just reinforces each of those products. And so it's just like, it just makes it so it's like such a no-brainer, I think, for realtors who are going to do, our staging and obviously if you're staging, you are going to get professional media. I mean, it goes hand in hand.
It does.
People are not going to stage and then take iPhone photos.
There's no way.
And they're also raising their package, like rather than just photos of the house, now they're getting photos, video, and virtual tours sometimes.
Right. And with that, they're justifying their commission too. So they're not going to negotiate down to your 5%. Right. You're going to be at your 6 and say, I'm providing staging and media. And
here's another question. Who is usually paying your invoice for the staging? Is it the realtor or the homeowner?
It's been both, actually.
Yeah. Here I see it's mostly the homeowners, unless the realtor is like, well, they didn't want to pay for it, and I'm chipping
When we
in.
started, it was always the realtor.
Interesting.
And
Here
it
it's
was
usually the homeowner.
Unspoken, like that was like the word Voldemort. Like you do not say, you do not talk to the homeowner about how much it is. I'm covering it.
Right.
I wonder if they pick that back up at the close of escrow, or if that's just like a upfront cost for them that they just eat it to get the listing. Yeah.
As long as they get their commission, and that's a big piece too, because we would be speaking to the homeowners, and
of course
they would
have to work with the homeowners,
about, how much is it and stuff like that, and we just had to kind of make sure that they knew that their broker was taking care.
Okay. They want to make sure they're getting their money's worth out of their brokers taking a percentage of the listing.
I've always thought there's a super smart play for a realtor to collaborate with a stager and just say like, and especially here, most of the time, I believe the homeowners are paying for the staging, but to be like, as part of their listing presentation, to come in and say, well, look, I have all this stuff. We do this amazing media, and we really truly believe that staging sets your listing apart, helps you sell quicker and for more money. And to that end, we have a special deal worked out with our stager where if you list with me, you get $1,000 credit against your staging. And then they pay you they pay you 500 of that 1,000, whatever, where it's like they have you have a deal worked out with your stager, with the realtor, where it's like whatever. They can tell them, oh, I'm giving you $1,000 value and they only pay you 500, but it gets you the gigs or
That's
whatever.
a great idea.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
I love that.
That's a perfect idea. We have our home prep checklist inside the brokerage packets, but we don't have any staging stuff. And if we were able to offer that, then they would be right behind it.
Because I think what I'm seeing is that any way that we can partner with our realtors in a deeper way, the more we're just in with them and they're going to do all of our services. So it's like, and then the realtor is going to like that because then they're able to also give that discount to the homeowner and have the homeowner pay for the staging and they're not paying for, whatever. Right.
Because staging, can get expensive, right? For an agent up front, if they're forking it out and they're like, I don't know if this house is going to sell.
And really the staging helps the homeowner make more equity, pull out more equity.
Absolutely.
If you look at how much it makes for the broker, it's probably break even, if that, right? It's break even and hopefully they get more
getting
deals.
2.5%. Yeah, exactly.
So they're breaking even and they're hopefully getting more listings. For the homeowner, you stage a house and it costs $2,500 and they make another $15,000. It's easy numbers. It makes
totally.
sense. It makes a lot more sense than a broker paying for it.
Oh, totally. And I think with staging, it's very clear to see that value. I mean, so many times you've seen it where we've done it here where the one agent has it, they don't stage it, it goes to a new agent, it gets staged and it sells within, 15 days.
Yeah.
And,
because people just cannot visualize an empty space, right? They just can't see themselves in there. They don't fall in love with it. It's just a different interaction for the buyers.
Okay, so I do want to ask, before we head into our break, why aren't you cleaning then? Is it just too much? Was that just a different, a different workflow? I mean, what's the deal? I get why you're not power washing or doing or doing construction stuff, but the cleaning that seems to go hand in hand. Hey, look, every house needs to be cleaned before it's photographed. Our cleaning team can come in right before we shoot.
I guess I will touch a little bit on that. It just wasn't profitable to coordinate the cleaners and then coordinate with the brokers, and they had high expectations of what is an actual deep clean and what is.
And were you guys cleaning, or did you have a team doing it?
When the cleaners didn't show up, she would clean.
Yeah.
So when we started cleaning, we started out with just, a prep, cleaning to prep the home for staging.
Right.
And that got really misconstrued to the agents. They would hire us for staging. They're like, oh, well, we need cleaning too. And then we'd get into the house the day before to clean it, and it's like, whoa, like you need to replace the floors, you need to paint this house, like this is so bad. And they thought like, oh, it's just a light clean, like you just wipe the surfaces. Like I was like, I literally can't put furniture in this house.
I can barely see the baseboard. Like
right.
Oh, geez, it's not just a vacuum and a wipe down; it's a lot more.
And so because we were already staging and doing media, I feel like the cleaning just kind of was. People weren't understanding, they just thought like, oh, we could just clean it really quick and then stage.
Right. Well, you also can't charge that much, right? I mean, because cleaning is not an industry that's known for super high prices, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's probably better just to have your go-to cleaning team that you can call that,
Yeah, and I think we realized that there's a bit of a separation of valuing each service as a whole, cleaning should be valued. It really should be.
Of course, yes.
You've lived in your house for 8 years or 10 years, 15 years and haven't cleaned, deep cleaned it ever.
Yeah.
And then, expecting somebody to bring brand new furniture into the house, so cleaning, it was, I think we just were over it. And our cleaners, they would help us stage too. She was so over it. Like our two cleaners, they were like, no, we're okay.
The coordination that goes into that is they want to list as fast as possible. So we get the listing, right? So we would clean on the weekend or Monday, stage on Tuesday or Wednesday, or stage on Tuesday, shoot on Wednesday, it's listed on Thursday. So the pressure of getting the cleaner in there on that day, getting the stager in on that day, getting the photographer in on that day. I know that maybe I overpromised a lot.
Right.
But it was a lesson learned of let's not take cleaning and do media and staging right.
Yeah. Then you're trying to deliver on 3 services in 3 days, and there's too many moving parts.
People would wait
let's
till the
focus
last
on what
minute.
we're good at.
And just on that cleaning, and it's also again you're just not going to make as much money. So then if it all of a sudden the cleaner doesn't work out and it pulls you guys into there and having to do the cleaning, well, that's time you could be spent out making $300 in an hour
Yeah.
doing a photo shoot rather than, making $20 an hour doing cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It has
toilets.
made for some good marketing, though. I will share with that. I mean, we were able to make some really great TikToks, and when we go in and we do presentations to brokerage to share our services, we show them the TikToks, and it's kind of an icebreaker for us,
Right.
To be like, hey, so hire us because this is what you're gonna get for, and we show the befores and afters, and
right.
So you're like,
a
we
lot of
just take care of it all, right?
oh no theme songs in the
Oh,
videos,
yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
fun.
Like, what are we walking into?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. So we're going to take a little break. We're going to do some ads in our social media sidebar. And, the funny thing is, Mark, I don't know if you noticed when Anthony and Kamika walked in. I mean, they got the kind of the Ojai lilt to them. They're, they've been here a night and, it's kind of this bucolic,
bougie,
bougie, bucolic valley. But they walked in and they were just like strutting their stuff. And they walked in, they're like, these two people have action items. They have amazing action items. They
ready
walked
to
in
roll.
knowing that they are going to bring a ton of value to our listeners. So at the
Can't wait
end of
for
the
that.
show, we're going to have 4 action items. We got 4 people on the pod today. We're going to have 4 amazing action items. So you want to listen all the way to the end. Come on, people. Mark, special day. We got 2 extra Aereo users in the house.
We do.
So Anthony, Kamika, Kamika just gave what is that even called? Like the
Whoop, whoop.
oh,
Raise
the
the
whoop,
roof.
whoop, the whoop whoop, the whoop whoop hand motion. It sounds like you're fans of Aereo.
We love
Definitely.
Aereo.
How much did Brannick pay you to say that?
We pay him every month.
We pay Brandon. But
Were you guys on board before us? Like, when did you start with Aereo?
I think we were. It was
Yeah.
He had Aereo
three. It was
before
3 years ago. It was
Yeah.
the
Okay, yeah.
online PFRE.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
You were in there early, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, I mean, look, it's the all-in-one solution. And we were just talking right before the break that we've been using the app, and you guys were kind of like, well, how are we selling the app to our clients? We're hoping to get more of them to use it. And then we said, look, telling your client, your realtors, like, hey, here's the one cool hack if you use our white labeled app from Aereo, is that you can download individual photos directly to your phone from the app. So therefore, when you're going to upload to Instagram, it's right there. You get rid of that. How do I get my photos from my computer to my phone to upload to Instagram? And so many realtors cannot figure that out because they are not smart people, many of them. So Aereo and their custom app makes it all possible. You guys agree with that?
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
that step right there is worth having the app then.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the time that it takes for you to walk through and
Yeah.
unzip a file, a folder with the broker, and then help
Yeah.
them upload it to the MLS. I don't know why I'm taking it that far.
Yeah.
But if you do that 5 times a month,
Oh, yeah.
you should just get the app.
There,
Yeah.
So
Put
they're
out a
broke.
quick
And
video on
they
Instagram,
do-
right? Show them how to do it, and boom.
And they do have the app for Android users now
absolutely.
as well, right?
Absolutely.
They
Absolutely.
do. I use it.
So
I like it.
yeah, Mark.
When we
whatever
first
is an
rolled it
Android,
out,
yeah.
When we first rolled it out, they just had it for
Exactly.
iPhone.
Yeah. So no, look, it's everything. So look, if you want to get in on the fun, if you want to be as cool as the 4 of us and use Aereo, do it. You go to Aereo.com, ARYEO.com, use the code Upmarket. Any new user is going to get 15 free bonus listings. No brainer, right, everybody?
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Absolutely.
All right. Oh man, I love it when our social media sidebar is sponsored. And today it's sponsored by Local Marketing Department. Mark, you know what it is. It's a white label service to offer marketing services to your realtors.
Yeah. We're getting people signing up for it, and we're going through the process with people. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, we rolled it out maybe a month ago, and it is kind of a thing where there is a bit of education you have to do for your clients. But so far, it's been wonderful because now you guys, Anthony, Kamika, you're just calling yourself, you're a real estate media company. But you know what Upmarket Media is? Well, we're a real estate marketing agency, a realtor marketing agency.
I like that.
Because exactly, it just makes you sound
That's what we are now too. So
well, yeah,
Jumping on the bandwagon, huh?
you're gonna get on. So even just being able to say that in front of your clients is a huge value add from using local marketing department. But look, they have services where your realtors can use them to boost themselves up on Google My Business, to manage their social media, to help the SEO on their website. So many different services that local marketing department can add to your realtors that you can sell to them. And the great thing is it's totally white labeled. They will identify, whenever anyone talks to them, they will identify, oh, we're the local marketing department of Upmarket Media. That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty genius. So you're adding a service without really having to do the back end part of it. It's genius.
And the good thing about that, I mean, I haven't used it yet.
Yes.
We're just a marketing. We're a photography company
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now.
Yeah.
But tomorrow will be.
Yeah, right.
marketing
Tomorrow
agency.
you're gonna call
But-
you're gonna call local marketing department.
But that's what brokers need. They need to have better SEO. They need to have better social
Absolutely.
media. And the more listings that they have, the more listings that we have.
There you go. And here's the thing. So tomorrow, when you're signing up for local marketing department, what I want you to do is make sure you tell them you heard on Upmarket, because you're going to get 1 free month of service. Not only that, but you are going to get 2 3-month packages for 2 of your realtors to test out some of their products. So it's going to be free to the realtor, free to you. It's such a really cool idea. I highly recommend everyone jump on board. Localmarketingdepartment.com. That's localmarketingdept.com. They don't spell out department because that's a lot of letters. We don't need that. We just want localmarketingdept.com. Tell them Upmarket sent you. They're going to treat you right.
yeah.
And so that leads us in to the actual social media sidebar. Upmarket Pod across all social media. Come on, follow. And you guys, look, Kamika, Anthony, I know you both have phones. You both have apps to listen to podcasts. And I know you both have subscribed to Upmarket Pod, which you recommend that to any listener.
Of course,
out
I'm
there.
going to.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
As soon as that episode hits, you're on it.
I
right?
I haven't noticed any 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts from Anthony T and Olympia or Kamika B. So
might
you know,
wanna
any
look into that.
any 5-star reviews left, we would super appreciate. And then if our listeners want to follow CoLab Media, where are we going?
At CoLab.
Do you know
Media
your social
Co.
media?
I think about it. There's so many different,
Right.
apps.
Wait, do you
and-
guys have one for your staging, your photography, or like separate?
Yeah, I have like
handles?
7 different logins
We
for.
have 3. We have a media one, a staging one, a studio one. Did you delete the studio one?
Not yet.
Okay,
No,
but-
because there's
Okay.
still great
Give us the
followers
media
on
one.
there.
Where's the best one?
How do you spell it? Come on.
CoLab Media Co. And it's CoLab Media and CO.
All right.
So
All right.
super easy. And then there is CoLab Media Co. _ staging or collab home staging. Just
Okay.
kidding. It's CoLab home
So
staging.
I think obviously we're all going to want to follow those, but I'm sensing something. Considering you really not even able to tell us where we can find you on social media. How's your social media going in general?
Not good.
It's not really going. It's kind of there.
It exists.
It's hanging out. It's not going anywhere.
Going
Right.
down.
Do you guys focus on Instagram and TikTok? Like, where do you guys? your
Yeah,
energy?
we
It
love.
sounds like you focus on many other things except social media.
Well, I've noticed that
We do.
editing your videos on TikTok are a lot easier than editing on Instagram.
There's a great
Okay.
insight for our listeners.
So usually I post my TikToks to the Instagram.
right, that's what I
Okay,
see.
so
That's
you're
how I see
editing.
TikToks. is
You're
on
editing it
Instagram.
in app. You don't use CapCut or something outside.
Well, we also used, what was the other editing? InShot.
Yeah,
We were
InShot.
oh,
using
that's the other big one.
InShot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's fun for like transitions and stuff.
Oh, okay,
you
yeah.
know.
But mostly you're just bringing clips into TikTok and doing it in app.
Yes.
Interesting.
So, and you kind of have said that now, you've been in Ojai for a little bit and we've been hanging out talking, but you are finding it hard to kind of manage your social media, making content for it and keeping up to date on it. And I think, and the irony is, of course, that we're producing all these materials for other people's social media, but it's always hard for us to manage our own. I mean, I think we feel that too.
Yeah, you're not short of content. You're just short of time and I guess.
It boils down to production for me. It's like if I want to be at a shoot or delivering photos because that's when I get paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's income producing, right?
It's income
Posting
producing.
to TikTok.
Okay.
Maybe income producing down the road, but you don't
Yeah.
see your return
And,
right away.
and actually, and that brings me to there's something we haven't even talked about. Do you guys have a team, or is it just the two of you?
We have one other photographer.
Okay.
And then we have
2
real estate.
stagers
Oh, two staging.
stagers.
Okay, all right.
as well.
But
Yeah.
you guys are doing the admin yourself, typically scheduling, delivery.
Yeah,
all that stuff?
mostly Anthony now.
Yeah.
At this
Okay.
point.
But and you're out there shooting a ton too, Anthony.
Yeah.
When you have shoots.
Yeah, when I have real estate shoots. Right now, I'm shooting a ton at the cannabis farm and the construction.
All right. All right. Cool. All right. So we all need to be better at our social media. I think we kind of come back to that almost every time in the social media sidebar, which Kamika told me, get this, Mark. Kamika told me last night when she listens to the podcast, she skips the social media sidebar.
Wow. Maybe she should learn and do her homework, right? Do some research there.
Yeah, exactly. I think your social media could be a lot better if you listen to the damn sidebar.
Okay, all right.
Skip the meat. Come on now.
All right.
Good stuff.
So we're going to come back with a bunch more good talk with these two and some action items. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Pixel Mob. Now, Anthony, Kamika, do you know about Pixel Mob?
We met them in PMRE.
Oh yeah, really
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
So look, I'll fill our listeners in. I'll fill you in if you don't remember. Pixel Mob is an online marketplace for editors. So they have kind of vetted a vetted market. Is marketplace the wrong word?
No, that's perfect.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what they.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we got a bunch of vetted editors in there that you can go in and see all the editors, see what the services are, how much everything costs, and these are and so it cuts out that I get all these virtual spam emails in my inbox every single day,
Yeah.
like all of us
Oh,
do,
yeah.
from editors all over.
Hey, sir, madam.
Yeah. These editors on Pixel Mob you can trust and are verified by Pixel Mob. So whatever services you need, is it virtual twilight? Is it just regular photo editing? Is it aerials? Is it,
And I like too that it's,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
categorized right within the marketplace. So if you're like, oh, I need to try someone new for virtual staging, you can go to that category and look at a visual of what every editor does. Because there's different types of virtual twilights and virtual staging, and you might not like this type or that type. But
know.
you can hone in on what you kind of like. And
I still got to
someone.
try them out, but to me, it looked like a Fiverr just for real estate editors.
Yeah,
More or
I mean,
less,
so,
yeah.
I think that's a good way to put it. And Mark, I think we really got to get in there a little bit more and dive in and kind of test out some other virtual twilight people and stuff, because I'm not always loving our virtual twilights.
Yeah, it can be a bit hit or miss for
Yeah,
sure.
so let's get in there. Let's do that. We'll update in some future Pixel Mob ads. But look, so you it sounds like you both have not been on Pixel Mob. You both have not been using the service. Here, I got an offer for you. Look, I'm not going to do it, but they're going to give you $25 to spend to your heart's content. You can get $25 of editing. If you go to pixelmob.com/upmarket or /upmarket, they're going to give you $25. Pixelmob.com. No E in pixel. It's pixlmob.com/upmarket. Go get $25 just for listening to this podcast and logging in. It's
Sweet.
I mean,
And they do virtual staging.
absolutely.
Yeah.
They're doing it all.
And the
Twilights,
virtual seasons, right? And
Virtual seasons?
like
I've never even heard of that.
If you take a photo in the wintertime
Oh,
and all
yeah.
the trees are dead, they'll make it look like it's springtime.
Probably.
I think
you can
that's an
probably have
option,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really
They'll
cool.
take out the snow and put it in the
I
grass
like
and
looking
whatever.
through like the slide transition of the
of
before
course.
and
Yes.
after.
Yeah,
Those
that's
are my
always fun.
faves.
Oh.
So
Yeah, those
Alright.
are good.
Look,
They specialize in that. for
I'm
sure.
not going to verify this, but I'm sure you can do that on Pixel Mob. So just go there, do it. Kamika, go get your winter photos made in
Love
the springtime.
$25.
Yeah, it
I'll
goes a
take
long
it.
way with editors.
All right. Second Floor app. Come on. We are all looking for ways to make floor plans. And this Second Floor app is probably the fastest and the most affordable. I mean, these are two things I love speed and I love affordability. So this is really in my wheelhouse. So Second Floor app, get this. You use it to make the floor plan and you're going to be able to deliver that floor plan to your realtor on site. This is not something that needs to process. You can do it immediately.
You're seeing it built like right in front of you as you're going. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're going to be able to do a ton of floor plans for your monthly fee. I mean, it's fantastic. And they have a super cool app where you can kind of see Mark, you've used it more than I have.
Yeah. I've spun around with it, and you see it picks up the windows and the fixed furniture, and it just kind of auto populates it, and you're just seeing it being built.
It's all a mystery. It's just like magic. I feel like second floor app is magic. You guys got to try this. I'm telling you. And they actually have a great offer too. So if you go to secondfloorapp.com, that's second floor SECOND. It's not the numbers. Come on, they're all about letters over there. Secondfloorapp.com. Use the code Upmarket, and you're going to get a free month of service. Hopefully, you're going to use that month in a busy month. And we're coming into springtime. It's going to be busy. You can do a ton of floor plans in that month. Guys, do it. Oh, Kamika, Anthony. This is just going so great, and I do want to talk a little bit about I think we've talked about the past, what you guys have been doing, what we've known you as, and let's go a little more backstory. So Anthony had the business, and then became romantically entangled with Kamika, and then Kamika ended up joining up with the business. And when we saw you at PMRE in November, just a few months ago, Kamika, you were doing, not only were you it felt like you were kind of overseeing the staging aspect of the business, but then you were also doing a ton of the admin, right?
Yep.
Like where you're delivering the photos, I don't know, scheduling, you're doing all the stuff.
Scheduling, invoicing, delivering photos, going through edits. Yeah.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah. I don't do well behind a computer.
Oh.
And so that was a huge challenge for me throughout the last 2 years of working with Anthony and working with my partner, somebody I love. So lots of challenges, that we faced being in a partnership romantically and also professionally.
Okay.
Yeah. So kind of where we don't have to get into all that.
No, that's all I want to get into.
Let's go deep.
I think, once the market slowed down, that was our biggest challenge because.
And when was this? When did you feel the market slowed
October.
down? October. Okay.
Yeah. It's been
right before
quite a while.
PMRE. Yeah.
Yeah. And we had gone through, a lot of frustrations of, being slow and trying to make ends meet and, for the household and whatnot. So we decided to reposition ourselves and go, I guess, how do I put this? I'm taking a step back from the media. I want to focus more on staging. We're kind of separating the businesses a little bit, but still coming together and working together to do what our original
right. So almost having it as the staging be a contractor to the rather than just a very close relationship, but it's not quite so.
Yeah.
And for you just needed to get out of the kind of admin position and sitting at a computer. It just wasn't working for you.
Yeah, because a lot of it was learning for me, and he's like, well, it's easy, he's been doing it, and then. For me, it wasn't that easy. And then I would learn it. And then I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. I'm going to do it my way, and then that didn't work for him. That doesn't work for the business. So,
and you don't have any kind of photo background or anything like that. I mean, can you get out there and shoot?
No, but I can do virtual tours.
Oh, of course. You can do the Matterport. Yeah.
Well, she's one of our virtual tour specialists.
Yeah. Wow. Took you a long time to learn that, I'm sure. Yeah.
I was doing it for about a year. All right. Calm down there.
Over 10,000 square feet of scanning.
Oh, wow.
Throwing out numbers.
You're a real pro. So, and we were talking a little bit about this last night. And one of the things that struck me over what you said, Kamika, was that you got together with Anthony and he had this successful business. And he was very passionate about this business, and that's what I've noticed about Anthony not that we know you guys all that well, but that Anthony really I feel like he thinks really deeply about things, and he's always looking for an edge and always looking for a way to make his business better. And you can really see the passion in him, not necessarily for, I love photography and I want to do this, but more of like, how can I build this business to be really successful? And it is infectious, right? And that's one of the reasons I think we took a shine to you both. And one of the reasons why you're sitting here in this room today is that we felt that passion. And so when you guys got together, Kamika, you saw that passion as well.
So much.
And so that kind of got you passionate about it and wanting to kind of come in and be a part of that, right?
Yeah.
But then it sounds like what happened is that you felt like that actually wasn't your passion. And that, and that one person's passion can maybe only carry you so far.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. And we were actually just talking about this before we showed up here today, in kind of the lessons that were learned and along the way, and then giving your partner like limitations. Do you want to say anything about this? You're just, are you here?
Play it safe, buddy. Play it safe.
Yeah, I'm here. It's a little bit of a touchy subject, but we're here with friends, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, just we're a few
Even our
hundreds
listeners,
of our closest friends. Yeah.
So working with a partner at first, it's on fire. Like you get to spend time with the person that you love and want to spend time most with while you make money. It's beautiful. Right. Doing cool projects, going cool places. Yeah. But when you're slow, it's not that fun. It turns into something else.
Right.
Yeah. So this morning we were talking about, what are good things and bad things, and we go to the bad things pretty fast because we go to like we should have stopped working together sooner. Right. We should have stopped that as soon as it wasn't working. And then this morning the conversation wasn't that. It was, I'm glad we still extended it that far because of the growth of CoLab, the growth of our relationship. Our relationship has never been stronger from all that adversity of having to work with each other, of having to get it to know how she works, how I work, how I live, how she lives. Right. And the growth was phenomenal for CoLab with us working as a team. Right. Like people knew us as CoLab. We didn't know. Yeah. I've got contracts faster because of that, because they were attracted to our energy. And I think again, that is part of the reason that we're probably here. The energy together is a lot more.
Power couple.
Yeah. We felt that, right? And it was like, these guys are super fun. They're smart. They got it going on. Yeah. It was just,
and we can still be that, but we don't have to do everything together, right? Like that's power couples work better probably in their own lane, and we're realizing.
Every couple has to figure out what works for them, and definitely we built our business, our old business, Two Fish Digital. It was two fish. There was two of us, so it was my spouse Liz and I. She's been on the podcast, and it can be tricky to navigate. There's no doubt about it. And I think she would say the same thing. And I think
it's like, how do you turn that off too, right? When you're at home, it's like, you're just in the work mode. It's like, it's always on. It's tough.
And ultimately I think it was a positive, but I also think that there's moments and things that were not a positive and, cause some, damage and, hopefully you can work through that and come out stronger. So that is interesting. So it's always a work in progress. I feel like you guys are still trying to figure this out because it seems like it's fresh as well.
It is pretty fresh.
As far as the bad things, the
losses,
the blaming on each other and on those, but our relationship was also kind of built through CoLab too, because I'm a creative, she's a creative. Right. We worked on projects, and that's part of our love story is working together on those projects and like getting deep inside and doing them together.
I love our love story.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, you just gave a little when you said that, you got all I can tell you got all tingly. Yeah, totally.
I do.
So the thing, it's like that's what got you here, but it might not be what's going to get you to the next step, right? It's like you kind of reevaluate it at this point.
Yeah. if you do work with your partner, I just recommend like maybe a 3-month term. You know?
Prenup.
No, a 3-month of working together, and then
And a prenup.
yeah, and definitely a prenup if you're getting more than 20, 30 listings a week.
Yeah. Right. But and just to clarify too, like your relationship was very new when you started working together.
It was.
Right. So you didn't have like, my wife and I, we'd been together a long time before we started this business. So, it was kind of, we already had, and when you're both in the world of video and photography, you kind of end up just helping each other out on stuff and bouncing ideas off even, before we started this business. And, we had done, a bunch of art projects together. So, we had that history of doing that, but it sounds like you guys were just like, dating. And it's like, this is fun. And let's say, you can come in. Why don't you come in and help? Yeah.
It just made sense. And like going everywhere with him. And then, fast forward now to 2 years, it's like, he's like, just come to the shoot with me. Cause, and I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to stand there.
I've done enough
I'm
shoots.
not needed, and so it got really frustrating.
It's not a good use of your
he's like,
time.
I just want you there. And I'm like, I want to be there. Like, I love you.
It came to a point where it just did not make sense for her to come to
Of course.
3 shoots with me. I'm like,
Why would it?
But
Yeah.
why wouldn't you want to bring a pretty girl with the shoot and just like she's sitting in the car by herself? I don't have to call Mark or Reed. I just have her. It makes sense to me.
Right. But if you're trying to build a business, it doesn't, because
doesn't.
that's the thing is Kamika has a bunch of stuff that she brings to the business. And if she's just watching you photograph, that's not, then maybe that helps your ego.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, you need.
You can chat with
Those
the
shots
agent,
are
right? Would that be
perfect.
part of it? You would like schmooze the agent
And
while he's
that's
working?
what it
or-
started out as. But then once everybody started to get to know us,
Yeah.
and know me, they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
who's this? Why does she have to be here every time?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and I think agents are being at the shoots less now.
They
too.
are.
After COVID, I just think that they're just more like, oh yeah, you don't actually need me here the whole time. You know?
That helped with the staging growth though, initially.
It did.
But after
That makes sense,
After
yeah.
all the clients knew us, then
Yeah,
it didn't make any
but you
sense.
can always though, like we talk about on here all the time, go to networking events. There's ways to get FaceTime with realtors that's not at the shoot, because that is not a very efficient use of time, and that's what frustrated me about shooting. And I think Mark is at, in a way, a similar place now, not as bad as I was, but where it's like, I think we bring more value to the company when we're not shooting. Like I know for me, for sure, I bring more value to our company when I'm not shooting. And I think Mark is kind of inching that way.
Yeah, for sure. Especially for the bulk of the shooting. It's just like, doesn't make sense for me to be the one there pushing
Right.
the buttons,
Yeah, exactly. So much of business is trying to figure out, whether they're an owner or not, how does each member of the team bring value to the business, and what is the best use of their time?
And keeping them in that lane.
Well, yeah, but also giving them the room to grow and to get out of that lane if in fact, they show that potential. And I think someone like Kamika, who is clearly a very dynamic person, it feels like that, like the sky's the limit on what you can do. Right. And so if you're just sitting there, just doing tasks that you can give to other people, it always goes back to that list that our business advisor, Jeff, talks about of like, make a list of what only you can do and then what you can have other people do. And if you are spending a lot of your time doing what other people can do, you may want to think about having someone else do that. So then you can do the things that only you can do. Only you can make those sales. Only because there's probably a scenario where if you were working in the company, Kamika, it just makes sense for you to completely do sales. Or whatever. I'm just, speaking just in the theoretical.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense for you to be tweaking Twilight photos and scheduling and all that stuff behind the scenes. You want to be the face. You want to be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we always want to put, and basically you just want to put yourself in a position to succeed. Right. So that's where it is. So how have you navigated this? So you're not working, how are you still working at all in the company?
Yeah, so it helps a lot because the market is slower, that he gets to really learn back into doing what he wasn't doing for a while. He's still asking me, can you just help me?
Baby, how do you
don't do
Oreo?
it. Yeah, he's like, don't do it for me, but can you just, and I'm like, yeah, and he feels uncomfortable a little bit to ask because it was kind of this big, at first it was this big uproar, I'm done, and then working, and then now it's okay, obviously that's not realistic. We still love each other, want to succeed together. So it's more he's just, can you help me through this? Can
He's got to put the admin hat back on, and you're kind of helping him ease back into that.
For now, we're looking for
Yeah.
either a VA or an actual assistant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I highly
Smart.
recommend. I mean, we
It's
got
just
Chelsea
the work
here.
never
It's like-
ends.
it never ends. Yeah.
And we have kids, and we realized too that when we took that, we decided to separate that. Like now we're having more time to spend with our kids and focus on their needs, and we're not bringing the work home together anymore.
Right.
Because before it was like we'd come home after working all day, and our kids are there, and they're just kind of like keeping themselves busy, but also
Right.
acting
Yeah.
out because they want our attention.
Right,
You're
right.
taking
You know.
phone calls and on
Energy separation.
email, and that's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's really solidified, like having that separation. We're like, okay, we very much needed this. It's been a long time coming, and it's just we're able to slowly work our way into busy season because I
Right.
have
It's
no
coming,
doubt
right?
it's
Easing,
coming.
yeah. It's interesting for me, like
Spring is
your
coming.
story, like the way that you guys diversified your services. Like obviously you took on staging and cleaning and all these things, which sounds like you're kind of diversifying, but you're still within that industry, right? So it's like when the real estate market slows down, all of these like diversified things that you're doing, they all slow down together.
Yeah.
Right.
And then within your household, if you're all in on one business together, then your household's not really diversified either, right? You
That's a
have
great
different
point.
things you're doing, but you're still reliant on one industry.
That's a great point.
So when everything slows
depended
down,
on
you
it.
feel it on both fronts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have anything else that you are? So you said you have the cannabis stuff, which is that's not real estate, and that seems like that's a business that's never going away.
Yeah, I think there's a huge niche inside cannabis.
Right.
It's hard to.
Shh, don't share the
So
secret.
cannabis, there's just a lot of photographers in there. You don't want to do that. Yeah, I found a niche in cannabis, and then I found
Yeah.
a niche for construction documentation. So my background is engineering.
Okay.
I graduated as a civil engineer and then worked on site as a project engineer for 5 years.
Uh-huh.
So tying in my knowledge to construction and then doing training videos for them, doing construction documentation to them during this slow time has been my saving grace.
Oh wow.
Huh.
And so, how are you doing? So what exactly are you doing? So are our skills as real estate photographers and videographers translatable to this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the construction documentation, you're just doing a Matterport scan. You know.
I know how to do that.
You want to use
Anyone can do
You want
that.
to use a Pro 2 or a Pro 3.
Oh yeah. Pro 3.
If
Yeah.
you have $6,500, use a Pro 3.
We used to have 6,500.
Yeah. Now we have a Pro 3.
And yeah, you can do it. You just have to think about what the value is for the contractor, and the value for them is seeing the walls before they're covered up.
Right.
That's huge,
It's
yeah.
about timing. It's about showing that you understand the value of that. You're not showcasing anything. So the difference is you're documenting.
Yeah.
And I think if you can see if you can understand them and get that point across, then you can get a lot of jobs.
Do you find these people like one by one, or are you part of an association, or like how are you?
My old employer hired me back, so I had a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit of an edge.
Right.
As a
Yeah, yeah.
contractor,
As a
not
contractor.
as an employee.
Yeah.
it's a-
Well, but then are you then using that to leverage other construction companies?
I am. I'm using that as a base.
Yeah. Well, because what I like about that, and we've kind of talked about this because we work with architects a bit, and it's usually on remodels. So it's not as though, we have done that construction where we have done it when it's just the studs up and, you do the Matterport scan. But what I really like about when you work with architects is that you're a value add to them, and they just bill it out to it's a pass through cost to their client.
Yeah.
So they're not really cost conscious, in a certain way, because the client's going to pay for it. And they're also like, sometimes I really feel like real estate agents want to keep you close to the vest because you're actually their competitive advantage because they use you for media. Well, architects are like, oh yeah, no, I hope you get a lot of work because
Yeah.
it just makes our jobs easier. It's not, it doesn't increase the likelihood that a different architect is going to get that job over them.
Yeah.
So they're very happy to refer you out to people. So it's really, when I feel like when you get those gigs, they're the best.
They are.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
the scan, it doesn't have to be precious or presented it like you said.
Yeah.
It's just documenting, right? So we
Yeah.
can send any one of our team out in the field to do that kind of stuff.
You can.
Yeah.
And again, understanding the value of the model conversion of
That's
so if
the
you
construction talk now.
Yeah.
not only the construction talk, but if you go to Matterport and you go to the tabs, Google Street View, you can go get money there by doing restaurants, by doing
Sure.
venue spaces, and upload to Google, the scan to BIM on every one of those tabs is money.
Right.
On the uploading to vacation homes.
Yeah.
So look at how can you pass that value on to your client and explain it to them so they will pay you.
Yes. Right. Exactly. Right? Yeah.
And if you have a model that it would take them 2,000 hours to build or whatever from scratch, and you can do it with a Matterport scan, then you can charge them half of those hours.
Right. Yeah. So much to me about Matterport is education. And I think within the real estate industry, it's pretty saturated. Most people know what it is, but I do find that architects, builders, a lot of them don't know. And so when we can educate them and show them the value of that, I mean, that's a real nice thing to have.
Yeah. That they don't have to send people out in the field to measure where an outlet was or where the plumbing is or whatever. Right? Yeah. It's just like they just click on a link and it's done. So you're really saving them money in the end.
You're saving them a lot of money and a lot of headache.
Yeah.
A lot of them yelling at each other.
Yeah. Perfect. And so, but if you are going to get these type of jobs, I mean, you really have to take action.
Yeah.
Right. So, which leads us, I think, to some action items, and I'm going to go last. I've main host decided this. Who wants to go first on the action
Let's
items?
let our guests hit it. Let's see what they got.
Kamika pointed at Anthony. Anthony's going first.
I just don't think mine's that great.
That's okay. Well, if it's the one you told me earlier, I think it's that good. Yeah. Do it.
Hit it.
I have to say this.
Yeah.
Lean on in.
This morning I did yoga and it really cleared up my head to get a lot done today. You know, I think I'm in a better state for this podcast. I got a lot of work done, still on vacation and getting some work done. I think clearing your mind is very positive for your business and you'll be more profitable.
So like a daily yoga or maybe meditation practice.
Yeah.
If you know, like I'm not very stretchy, so yoga's hard for me.
You need it. Yeah.
It was a combo of meditation and yoga, and it was 20 minutes. It was short.
Yeah. And in fact, my mind doesn't meditate. I don't know. I think it's a great action item. I just don't know that I can employ that.
What about cold plunges? Those are so popular right now. You doing a cold shower in the morning to get
I'm
in
not
the
into
zone?
that.
No,
I'm not into that. I did it one time. I did it one time, and I'm like, nah.
You said that you love taking cold showers.
I lied to you. No,
straight up lies.
Yeah, that was like
the basis of our relationship.
like 2 seconds.
Yeah, right at the end before you get out.
2 seconds.
Yeah. Right at the end. That's the only time.
Not cold showers, like 2 seconds.
Okay, I got enough.
You're
supposed to get the adrenaline going and get the blood pumping, but it doesn't always work, right?
So maybe a way to phrase it, a daily practice of centering yourself before you start your day can really put you in the right frame of mind to help grow your business.
Yeah.
All right.
That was perfectly put.
Yes.
Reed.
That's what I meant to say.
Kamika.
Okay, so I think my biggest action item for moving forward is I'm going to stop blaming the market.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're taking personal responsibility?
Stop playing victim to the market?
Yeah, because I think, everybody's kind of down and depressed because it's so slow and business is slow.
Because I don't have any listings.
So Anthony's down and depressed. But honestly, I have seen my business go almost nowhere over the last 3 months. I mean, people still know about it. They ask about it. They're interested, but I still have no work. So I've also I haven't been marketing properly. I haven't been calling clients. I'm like, they know about us, It's why am I not putting that effort into just because the market's slow?
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like I'm pressuring people to use our services, but at the end of the day, it's like, hey, we're still here, and
you got to remain top of mind. You got to remain top of mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
so
just growing that client base, right? So you can kind of cushion when the market slows. You just have
you have to market when you're slow. You also have to remember to market when you're not slow, because then that helps feed the slow times.
Let's just be more consistent, I guess. But I'm not going to blame the market anymore. That's it.
All right, good. So just looking at it in a different way, not just being depressed and like things are out of my control. Like I'm going to actually do, take it.
Yep.
All right. Wonderful.
I like it. All right, you guys ready for my action?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Let me. We're recording. Yes.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Yeah. So this is kind of very similar to what you were talking about, Anthony, with like a kind of a mindset, and like we always talk about a work-life balance, and you're trying to grow your business, you have to have a proper mindset. And part of that for Reed and I, we're both family guys. We have kids, we have wives at home. Yeah. And if I'm still out in the field shooting, I would find myself coming home. My kids are there home from school or ballet. My wife's there, and you're just like, you come in the door and you're in this like work mindset, and you're not really connecting. You're not thinking about what their day was or what's going on. So this is something I picked up from my dad, and it's like, it's helped me in the last couple of years. Like when I'm in a super busy work mindset, is like driving into my neighborhood. I pick a house in my neighborhood, and like when I get to that house, it always say, all right, like it helps me to switch my mind into like, oh, what are my kids? Oh, my kids just had a ballet rehearsal. Oh, my wife was doing this today. I have to, it mentally like triggers me to switch out of my crazy, I got to get this Slack message. I got to get these photos, whatever. Yeah. Switches into like, all right, I'm going into family mindset right now. I'm going into like connecting with the family. So when I walk in the door, I'm present with my kids and my wife. And what I've even started doing is actually pulling over now. When I get into my neighborhood, if there's something urgent I need to get back to, a phone call, a Slack message from Reed or whatever, it's like take care of that and then walk in the door empty, open, and ready to kind of engage with your family.
Yeah, I love that.
But not in front of your house. Like you're like,
no, it's down the street. Yeah. It's like, because if you're driving 30 minutes from a shoot to home, and then all this stuff is building up and you hear your phone pinging the whole time. It's like stop before you get there, take care of it, and then come into your house. And you're like,
that's an awesome trick that
love
you can all
and then and then invariably you stop and then you start the rest of the way home, and I call. Yeah, right then.
Damn it, Reed, not now, man. Yeah. But it's just, it might not help grow your business right there, but it's just a kind of a hack, a trick to just get in the right mindset so you can be present for your family and help the work-life balance. And
I think it helps grow your business. I don't know how you would measure it, but
for sure.
When you're at home and you're happier at home, your wife's happier, you're not going to go to work with other things on your mind, and it translates back and forth and back and forth. Like be present in the space that you're at.
Yeah, and if your kids see you come home and you're in this like work, and they just look at work, then it's negative. Oh, Dad's always working. He's always doing it. You got to like switch out of that at some point.
Absolutely.
No, having a better work-life balance helps your business. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So, and it helps your home life, too. Okay. This one, I like this one. So this is my last action item was actually about relationships, and this one is too. So I want to encourage people to cultivate relationships with other people in this industry who are doing the same thing you're doing. And in a way you are, if you're listening to this podcast, in a way, this is a bit of a proxy for that. But having Anthony and Kamika here, and you're visiting for a couple of days, I think is invaluable to our business, because just having the time to sit and talk and kind of what's working for you, what's working for you, what's working for us, what's not working, to be able to bounce those ideas across, to be able to, and obviously we do it on the podcast, and that's one of the benefits of this podcast is we are able to have these kind of conversations. And these, I think, are the ones that help our business more than any others. And so I think if you can have someone, if it's online and you can do Zoom calls, or if it is a competitor in your area, to be able to sit down with other people in the industry and just talk. I mean, and it's the whole kind of premise of going to PMRE, but to kind of keep it, to not just have it be once a year in Las Vegas, but to have it be a more consistent thing, I think is going to bring a ton of value. And just to not only get ideas and to give ideas, but to also just not feel so alone.
Yeah, we talk about that, being lonely and being in this bubble, right? And you kind of feel trapped in there, but it's like, man, reach out of the bubble.
Yeah. So there you go. Thank you. Thank you both for coming all the way from Olympia to the weird old Ojai. The hard to get to. Yeah,
it really was.
On the train, on the plane.
It was super relaxing.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, we're so happy to have you here.
Ojai is sweet. It's a little niche, not niche. That's the wrong word.
It's a little oasis out here.
It is a little oasis.
No,
we got to ride our bikes here. And,
it's a special place. It's a special place. Yeah,
what did you say? 175 yards.
Yeah.
Bike ride.
Well, you guys are staying at the Caravan Outpost, which is like a Airstream park. It's so hip and cool. It's really sweet.
Yeah.
The word was quaint. It's a little quaint. It's
quaint. Oh, you're still thinking about it?
I'm like, it's a niche town.
Yeah, it's quaint. It's quaint. It's quaint.
Yeah, I'm super glad to have you guys here.
Yeah.
It's been
great.
All
right. Thank you.
So
all
much.
right. Bye. Upmarket is a production of Upmarket Studios. This episode was produced by Chelsea Froelich and edited by Bethany Diedrich. Thank you so much for listening, and we really hope you listen to the next one too. In the meantime, our wish for you is to not have to shoot any Friday night twilight shoots. Thank you for everything.